back to the Penciled In podcast with me, Penciled In Mike. Hello, I am back and shaved and haircutted and not wearing a hat and feeling very uncomfortable about it. With me, as always, is our wonderful, long-suffering and always trying to keep us to time, is producer Petter. Hello, sir. Donning his
Hello.
rather cool-looking, as in like cool for sure. But it's nice and loose on this very hot day, and you secretly hiding a fan. I was genuinely wondering where it went. I didn't have a fucking clue where it went, and I was like, "Oh, he must be calm now. He must be all right."
It's very warm today, as it is apparently 24 centigrade, which for people outside of the UK probably isn't that bad. But with British homes that keep the heat in, ain't that good.
The upstairs is a feckin' sauna right now. I very much happy to be downstairs, but
and I do have a friend with me, by the way.
Well, I'm assuming this friend is I don't know. Let's say it's just random adjective off the top of my head. Teethy. I forgot the name. We're giving you a new name. It's Penciled In Nicky, ladies and gentlemen, with an actual pencil.
Hello. I'm Penciled In Nicky.
Bob on.
Down you go.
Bob on, Penciled In.
You just get back in your little shark cave.
Unfortunately, Nick is still recovering, not able to quite join us quite yet. But she sends all her love and is very excited to come back. We're going to do a big collective overview because it's all still on Triller to watch, and some people haven't seen it, and it was big fun. So might do a few things with that. But yes, it is a sunny, glorious day, and we are inside talking about wrestling because that's what we fucking love to do here at the Penciled In podcast.
Because we are the clever ones. Who wants to go out in the sun? Stay in the shade.
Stay in where it's cool. Get wooden floors. Sit on ice.
Or get laminate flooring on ice.
Oh, man.
Best of both worlds.
As long as it keeps it going, because there's going to be a very, very short period where it's actual ice, and then the rest of it will be just water, and then it's constant.
Take it to an ice rink.
Oh, ice rink sounds fun.
Unless it's Altrincham, because Altrincham is always the world's warmest ice rink.
Oh God, yeah.
It's the only time you come out of an ice rink and go, "Oh, I'm really glad to feel the chill of like the hot summer's air."
It is ridiculous. Ow. That.
I have thrown you.
No. Yes. Ow. One sec. Fuck. I've got a funky thumb that likes to. Nick, don't watch at this point. A funky thumb that likes to pop out, and I just did it, and it's the first time I've done it in a while. And when it's not happening in a while, that makes quite the clunk, and that sucks. And I did it, but it happened at the same time that my can popped, which was great. Anyway, enough of this.
It's going on the clips.
Sorry?
It's going in the clips.
I mean, how many bumps am I going to take through these things, you know?
And you don't even go to wrestling school.
I don't. I'm not a wrestler. I'm nothing to do with it. You know, I'd love to. I am so not physically capable. Anyway, today on the show we have some reviews of on the ground reporter producer Petter, who, as I don't get out all that much and stuff like that, and I very rarely prepare things because. And it basically this has become the review show of the indie stuff, and I'm here for it because I love hearing your little adventures out. Usually, it involves some kind of travel story. But we are on a schedule today, so you can have your nice, cool casserole in this wonderful, glorious heat.
A nice chicken casserole.
Can I just ask, just before we do get into your shows that you went to this week, this past week, what's with the Blue W? Is this like, are we just super positive? We're going for the win. Going for the win here. Is this something to do with your get up today? Your Chicago Cubs get up?
Well, let's try and broaden it out. One reason is the Chicago Cubs have started this year's season as one of the red hot teams. Go Cubs, go!
Go Cubs,
so,
go.
Cubs hat, Cubs jersey, the flag that we always unfurl when we win. But to bring it back to wrestling, aren't we all winners?
We are. When we get matches like we've had in recent times and stuff like that, we are very much winners. When we're getting the amount of wrestling that we're getting as of late, holy shit! In the last few years, this boom that has happened has been incredibly cool. I mean, it's literally the reason why we're doing what we're doing right now, because it's just there's so much, and a lot of it doesn't get spoken about. A lot of it doesn't get the attention that it deserves. And whether it's, just one person listening, 20 people listening, 100 people listening, keep going. It's good to put anything out there. And I love hearing about the shows that you go to. And when Nikki's recovered, we are coming to those shows back out into the world, which is exciting. Hopefully we'll be able to make the May Leeds show for North. Hell yeah! So a little trip up to Leeds if all is well. So, but until that time, where the fuck have you been?
Where haven't I been? Should be a good question. So we have a massive 3 shows to review, and to save time, I have made notes. Good thinking, Petter. So let's start a couple of weeks ago with Bridge Pro Wrestling down in Stourbridge for their kind of mini offshoot show. Could we call it like a house show, so to speak? Seeing as it was at the Wollaston Village Hall in Wollaston, would you believe it? I knew it was a tiny and intimate venue because they told us so. But for what it was, it's quite a nice little village hall.
Oh, cool.
Small, had roughly, I don't know, maybe 100 people in there, possibly. Those of us that were VIP were given the privilege of sitting on stage because we like to look down on commoners. Front row.
I knew you were a fucking elitist. You son of a gun.
Literally a leg's length from the ring. To which I effectively panicked a few times on this show because they were a bit close. More on that as we come to it. So we have, I think it's about 6 or 8 matches, probably 7 now I've said that. So let's start from the beginning. The opening contest saw Hyperactive, that being Anita Vaughn and Sapphire Reed.
Oh, fuck yes.
Love those two. They took on the Medusa Complex in Charlie Evans and Millie McKenzie.
Oh my God,
what a way to start a show.
Yes.
So let's look at the notes. So both teams pretty much getting their stuff in nice and early. Sapphire Reed gets isolated early in the contest by Millie and Charlie. Reed pretty much takes most of the beating in this contest. Reed, in fairness to her, tries to give the old shoulder barge, running off the ropes into Charlie. Charlie kind of just thinking, go again, try again.
You got a powerhouse team right there,
Yeah.
like, and then like Anita Vaughan as well, and like Sapphire Reed is obviously not weak by any stretch of the imagination, but like, holy shit, like
you ain't moving.
You ain't barging through Charlie Evans.
So she has about 2 or 3 goes, can't do it. On the final attempt, Vaughan does a blind tag. Vaughan comes in, basically gives the momentum to Hyperactive. Couple of back elbows into the corner. Couple of nice double teams. Millie McKenzie then feels the wrath of Hyperactive before yet again Reed gets cut off and gets isolated. We did kind of have like little chats with Millie McKenzie in between because she was literally about 2 foot away.
I was going to say, I can't imagine. I'd imagine there's quite a bit of interaction during some tag matches and stuff like that.
Oh, I mean, it's rare you can chat to wrestlers during a match, but Millie being Millie will just like joke away anyway. But when it's time to go, she goes.
Oh yeah.
Medusa Complex go to do the tag team move of one putting the foot on the top rope, and you kind of bounce the head off it in that way. So it works when it's Charlie putting a foot up and Millie bounces Reed's head off the foot. Then they try it again. Millie struggles to get her leg up on the top rope. She might be athletic, but she did struggle. She did eventually. However, Evans would become a cropper for this as Reed reversed it. Where did we go to then? So soon after, Reed is on the floor. Mackenzie's choking her in the corner. Evans is basically just dancing away and posing behind the referee's back while Vaughan's trying everything to get past the referee. Yeah. Millie's just choking her and kicking her, kind of jokingly with a few taps as well, like kicking her backside. So still in wrestling mode, but being a bit humorous at the same time. Reed battles out of the corner, hits a insecurity to Charlie, tags in Anita, who I've put hits a Louisiana move as she bounces off the ropes.
Right.
And when I say Louisiana move,
yeah,
she basically blew by you. And there's my bad pun for the day. As I can see that joke, just Eva is still going in your head.
I'm all the way there with you. I am.
Yeah.
100%. Let's move forward from this.
I loved it at least. I got when I wrote that, I was so happy.
I'm a fan of puns, man. I had nothing else to say. I just no, you've won the podcast. Well done.
So anyway, we're moving on because we're getting nowhere here. So anyway, Vaughan bounces through both Medusa Complex competitors, hits the double clothesline. We then get Charlie and Anita trading shots. Hyperactive hits a double team move with Charlie kind of draped over the middle rope. Reed jumps off Brett's rope, double stomp onto the back. Everything looks like it's coming up Millhouse. Unfortunately, it doesn't. Things break down. Millie hits a super kick on Vaughan, which sees her kind of tumbling out. Sapphire launches does like a flying headbutt to Millie. then gets rewarded with a super kick by Charlie Evans. So we then had, for the closing stages, Hyperactive getting simultaneously German suplexed.
All right.
Reed is all left alone. Medusa Complex hit a double team, which I didn't see because the referee was blocking my vision. Match roughly lasted 12 minutes. So for an opening contest,
Really
really
I would
good.
have really loved to have been there for that match. That sounds like a really holy. Did you know going in as well that was on the card or?
Oh yeah, I think
Yeah,
it was one of the opening matches they actually advertised.
Sweet.
I think it was the first match they advertised for that show. More on the Medusa Complex later.
Oh, interesting.
Match number 2 saw the brilliance James Ellis going up against Brandon Jordan. It wasn't a longish match. It was about 10 minutes 53, as my notes tell me. But a lot of stuff happened. Ellis being the technical master, while Brandon being more high flying. So comparing traits. We had a blockbuster off the top rope to Ellis from Jordan.
Always fun.
Yeah. Ellis causes Jordan to fall while on the top rope and sets about beating the hell out of him. Meanwhile, attempts to try and do his torture rack into a spinning bomb does not work. He tries this a couple of times. Instead, settles for a running stiff clothesline from behind. Still in charge is Ellis at this point. But every time Brandon tries to kind of make a comeback attempt, all are thwarted. A sunset flip for Jordan is kicked out of, then gets hit by a spine buster for his troubles. Ellis goes for his torture rack move yet again. Jordan stops him, rallies, gets hit with a Michinoku driver for 2. The third attempt by Ellis to hit his torture rack spinning powerbomb, or sit down powerbomb even, connects and gets a near fall. Jordan in this match was pretty much kind of battling against Ellis, who was the more stronger opponent, which is obviously going to be the way when Ellis is built like a muscle-bound, I would say shithouse, but that's not the right term.
Brickhouse.
Brickhouse, that's the word I was thinking of. Anyhow, Ellis pulls his knee pad down and misses going for the knee. Not the first time that this particular move would fail on the evening's proceedings. But he is soon suplexed off the top rope by Jordan. Jordan hits a frog splash for the 1-2-3. Brandon Jordan, one of the number 1 contenders for the first ever Bridge Pro Championship, wins your second contest. We then moved into a 4-way match with 4, I'll say, notable wrestlers from the Midlands area. One I knew more about than the other 3, which will probably be a bit evident. But the 4 combatants were Mega Colibre, Ashley Dunn, who, as readers of many blogs that I have written will know that he participated back in January at Hit and Run, also Hit and Rumble even. The remaining 2 were Joey Scott, or Hot Shot Joey Scott, and Leighton LeBlanc. This match went on for 7 minutes 50, but went seemed to be much longer.
In a good way, kind of thing. Like,
In a
the
good
amount,
way.
because the amount that they're getting in that time.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
felt like it went on longer than it did, which is a good thing because everyone seemed to just do everything they could.
Yeah.
So, notes. The match started with all four kind of getting into it. The two bad guys, as we shall say, that being Don and LeBlanc, both went to kind of hit super kicks. Both got their feet caught by Messrs. Calibre and Scott.
Mm-hmm.
Then they were reversed into Irish whips. Then they failed, and it resulted with both going to hit drop kicks on Calibre and Scott as they both held onto the ropes. So it was kind of a fun opening of bad guys try something, good guys outsmart them, bad guys try something else, good guys outsmart them again.
Lovely.
So this gets down to Mega Calibre, to give him his full title. Where's my manners? And Joe Scott
doesn't really do it for me.
No, you've got to add more meat to the bone, so to speak. So we then were left with Mega Calibre and Joey Scott. They had their own kind of one-on-one for like a minute or so. Lots of moves, lots of kind of reversals, good wrestling. Everyone realised who the good guys were in this match. We then had Dunn leap up on the ropes. Scott ducked a clothesline from Calibre. But at the same time, I will say this, because I've read that wrong. So you had Dunn jump up on the middle ropes.
Yeah.
In the middle of the ring. So he's kind of like midway through the ropes. On the ropes, kind of saying, let's go at it. Who did I say went through? I think it was Scott. So Scott bounces off the ropes, ducks a clothesline, dives through the legs of Dunn, who is on the middle rope, so he can do a suicide dive to the outside and get LeBlanc.
Lovely.
All will be more kind of obvious when the clip is played alongside this. So we then go. I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at one of my notes. I've just put it in like the way he dives through to the outside through the legs. It's like something you see from Crufts. I'm sorry. I've made myself laugh with that.
Don't be shocked if you see a little.
It's just when I do these little notes, I'll just do things to like make myself pop, and that's just maybe tickle myself for some unknown reason. Dunn hits a phenomenal punch, phenomenal like AJ Styles. So he hits Calibre. Scott hits a springboard Hurricane Rana on Dunn, which has him draped across the second rope. Scott goes to hit the 619, but he's met with a clothesline, a stiff clothesline by LeBlanc. Sees him flip almost on his neck, which was a bit scary, but when I've watched the replay back, it wasn't particularly as scary. LeBlanc and Mega Calibre then go at it. Leighton hits a kick to the back and neckbreaker combo. We then see a pack between LeBlanc and Dunn, thinking we're the bad guys, let's team up to take out the good guys. As you should do if you're a bad guy, really.
Makes sense.
So they work as a unit for a certain time before dissension comes in, when it's who's going to take the pin, who's going to win this match. LeBlanc basically tells Dunn, I want to win this match more than you. Shove off, effectively.
Yeah.
Calibre hits a double drop kick, and it sees them both go into the ropes. Just as Scott is kind of waking up and stirring, he hits a double 619 for a 2 count. Scott then hits a couple of back-to-back Germans. Dunn hits a springboard back elbow and sees Calibre hitting a kind of curtain call-esque move for a 2 count. LeBlanc then hits I've called it a front face DDT on Calibre. He kind of gets him in a headlock and then almost just falls down, driving the head into the mat.
Yeah.
But it looked like a DDT, but the other way around.
Okay.
There probably is an actual move. It's probably just putting your head into the mat, to be fair, but I'm probably getting too technical. Anyhow, that does not get any pin because Dunn interferes. Scott scores with a flying clothesline off the top rope.
Nice.
Dunn and Scott go up in the corner. This is where we were shitting ourselves, people. Because LeBlanc joins in, who is a larger man, a young, grizzled giant haystacks, if you will.
Okay.
But seeing as they were effectively hanging over us as we were on front row, effectively, if you've ever watched a film at a cinema and you're on front row looking at the screen, that was kind of what we had.
Right.
And the fact that they were rocking back and forth did not fill us with confidence whatsoever.
Oh.
But thankfully, Dunn hit an elbow to send LeBlanc going backwards. Scott then gets pushed off. Takes an awful crash because he meant to go over the rope, fall on the apron, and kind of almost like flubber, just like drip down. Did not go that way. He bounced off the ring apron, smashed his leg and shin and knee off a radiator that was hanging off the wall. Yeah. The look of pain on his face told you everything you needed to know at that point.
Was it one of those like fucking almost like cylindrical ones?
A generic.
Oh,
I'll put it this way. It wasn't a flat one. It was more squared. It looked like a cassette tape.
Oh, right. Okay.
So if it had been a flat one, that would have been worse.
That made a proper like crashing sound as well. Fuck.
Yeah. Plus the radiator was slightly tilted one way as well. It just happened to be where it was, he would have been fine.
Yeah.
But because it was tilted a bit off the wall and the leg bounced. Was not fun.
No, I hope he's okay.
As he told the referee afterwards, just going, I think it's fucked. But then again, back to the match. We then had Dunn turn round, hit the coup de grace, as I've called it, on LeBlanc. Calibre, however, takes victory with a Falcon Arrow looking maneuver. Wasn't a Falcon Arrow, but it looked like it. And wins in 7 minutes 50. Mike, you look like you're going to ask a question. Or am I misreading things?
Was it a good match? No, it sounded like a good match. No, I didn't have a question.
I will be right back because I hear someone shouting.
Those pieces are gone. I'm just taking a moment. Put this in. Maybe I'm gonna bring Harvey into the mix. This is the Harvey time. Hey, buddy, say hi to the people. Oh, thank you. Your tongue smells like ass. I'm sorry to shame you in front of the people and the listeners. Harvey's tongue smells like ass. Should we turn this into an ASMR section? I'll just stick you near the camera and you can like that. No? Okay. All right, fair enough. Just whilst Peter is gone, I hope everyone is having a lovely day. the world is full of crazy shit, but we always have wrestling, so it's always really nice to do this and just talk it. I myself have had a mad couple of weeks, and I've just started a new job, so I'm wiped and not been able to do this. But it's just wrestling is fun and it's good and it's always here for me when I come home, and it's always here for me. Just basically, from this, it genuinely calms things. Like me and Nick have days where it's just like, the world is the world is a vampire. I don't know. It's one of those, like we specifically watch either GCW like death matches or New Japan to calm down. Almost like there's a way that it's shot. There was a vibe to it. It's calming. So if this is in, I'd like to hear what if there's any matches that or any like what you do to when you get calm. If there's anything you watch in particular, series, films, anything like that, or wrestling matches. If there's any wrestling matches or a style of wrestling that kind of makes you just like mellow out. So yeah, I was just talking to the people.
And did they chant?
I mean, I heard voices, but
well, I will tell you what has just occurred.
What has occurred? Chill, mate.
My chicken casserole has just arrived.
Your chicken casserole has arrived.
So this is going to be a lot of fun now. We then came to Chantel Jordan versus Lizzie Evo. Beforehand, we had Lizzie cutting a promo where she effectively told a kid to sit down or she would put her down. Lizzie being her normal happy-go-lucky self.
So charming. The most charming.
Went on to tell the announcer that if you're going to actually introduce her, do it properly, because he was a loser. I'm winning friends, hands across the water and all that with Lizzie Evo.
Of course.
So she was taking on the bad girl. Chants before the match and as the bell rang of Jordan's going to kill you. Lizzie just facing the crowd, just going, is she though? Is she? I don't think so.
Is she though?
So Chantel trips up Lizzie in the corner, hits two very vicious hip attacks to Evo, almost running straight into us. If Evo didn't take the bullet,
God, yeah,
you're still straight into us,
there, aren't you? So it's like, I bet the amount of times when they're running at you, just like, oh God, if the ropes just like
certain times throughout the show, you did panic.
There should be a Final Destination kill scene.
Oh yeah, if there was a Final Destination wrestling episode, that would have been it.
Nice.
Evo rolls to the outside using all her experience, grabs Chantel, boots her in the upper neck or upper body, turned around on the ring apron and just booted her. Drove her spine first into the ring post, threw her back into the ring. Evo continued the beatdown. Jordan was always dangerous with her kicks because she is lethal with those things. They should be lethal weapons.
From the clips I've seen, nah. Yeah,
they're vicious.
Did not hold back.
I wouldn't want to take one, put it that way.
No.
And she's done this multiple times towards her brother in the ring. And I always feel there's more sauce on those than any others.
Oh, you've got to imagine. It's like you get a bit extra.
Oh, yeah.
That time. A lot of remember that times.
We then saw another kick by Jordan, kicking Evo in the back. That saw Jordan getting more into the match until a reversal saw Jordan hitting the middle turnbuckle head first, which isn't particularly what you want. Evo took over, choking her on the ropes,
Lovely.
making her humble by putting her in the camel clutch, because what else do? You'd make him humble in the camel clutch. Both traded forearm shots to the face, double clothesline, both down on the mat. Jordan's feet, as I've written here, prove very lethal as Evo finds herself on the back foot yet again. However, a huge DDT saw a 2 count, which saw kind of Evo still in control to a point. Chantel then caught her foot, booted her once, kicked her down on the mat with a sit-down slam, hooked to the leg, but kind of Evo got out of it. Jordan then went to go for the big kick, but nice. Evo stopped her and saw Lizzie, not for the first time, with someone else in this entire show, as I said earlier with Ellis, rolled their knee pad down to use the knee as pretty much their finishing move. And for the second straight time, did not happen. Chantal avoided it, kicks Lizzie in the head, picks up the 1, 2, 3 in 11 minutes and 42 seconds.
Della.
I could not do that again if I tried.
That was some Pat McAfee shit.
That was Mr. Perfect. See, that is being clipped.
That sounds like a fucking cracking match. I'd like to. That there was definitely 2 I'd like to see in the ring together. From the clips I've seen, it's very good.
Well, them 2 you could definitely see worked really well. Lizzie's already said she wants to face her again, which I would be definitely there to see, because this was a great match. In fairness, all the Bridge Pro matches, one way or the other, worked. Where you may have gone into it thinking, is this going to work or whatever? Yeah. They all did. By the end of the match, you felt very happy with the result. Maybe not if your specific wrestler lost, but overall, every match was great.
Nice. Well, with Chantal Jordan, mostly, I'm really looking forward to seeing her live, because I've only seen her through clips that you sent, or from social media and stuff like that. But I've not seen her outside of Bridge Pro, so I'm very much looking forward to being able to get to go and see, and hear those fucking kicks live.
Oh, there's certain kicks. The one against the brother Brandon.
Yeah, I think another one.
Jeez, I mean the room.
The tournament.
It was the previous show, I believe.
Yeah.
Or was it the previous show? Yeah, it was the last show, but it was also the Rumble, because they were the final 2.
That was it. It wasn't tournament, it was Rumble.
Where they basically just beat the crap out of each other. And it was the fact of, it's a small room, like the Amblecote, where they do the shows.
Yeah.
And kind of holds in the noise. But I've been to, even Wollaston it's a bigger venue, but it's more kind of longer, the room, as opposed to being square.
Yeah.
So the noise would travel a bit more, but either way, whether it was a big arena or small, you would still hear and feel those kicks. I don't care where you are.
Love it.
We then came to the 8-man tag, which featured the Queen's Catch, featuring JC and Tyler Davis. They were teaming up with the Exile Pack in Luke Douglas and Alex Connors, as they took on the team of Moonage Daydream, Brad Osborne, Has Hype, as seen on social media, because he does do a good blog, or vlog I should say. always enjoy watching. Skywalker, Nate Riley, and Tiger Shah. So, obviously, an 8-man tag. You know what's going to happen. It's going to be a brawl to start with. And no one was disappointed because that's what happened. The ring got cleared, and the only two left in the ring were Alex Connors and Brad Osborne. This is the only thing it's not a negative. It's the only thing that I would say didn't particularly make sense, but as you watch it kind of did.
Okay.
So Connors puts him in a figure 4. And the figure 4 must have been on for a good, I don't know, 2 minutes. So Osborne's kind of in a figure 4. However, there's things that worked around the figure 4 in the ring.
Cool.
So it kind of didn't matter, but did matter if you kind of understand where I go with it.
No, I get it. I like when people do stuff like that. So just for something there. But I like I've seen it. You see it with ages ago. It was like Sheamus and Gunther. They stood in the ring just squaring off, whilst around them the Imperium and Pete Dunne and Rage Holland were just fucking going at it. And it was a very cool thing to happen. So to have a move going on at the same time, because not only is it a move happening, he's clearly getting a damaged leg through all that, which I'm hoping he would you'd be selling throughout and stuff like that. So it just adds more drama. And if you can make it as dynamic with people around, things going on, it could be a very cool moment or a good way to tell a story.
Yeah. So, as I say, Connors has Osborne in a figure 4. You then had Riley and Douglas fighting round them. So they're having a match while they're still in this move. But as Douglas hits the rope, instead of jumping over, he catches Osborne and Connors, who are in the figure 4. And because he kicks him, he reverses the move his tag partner's got on.
Yeah.
And because he's tripped over him, he's now put his tag partner in peril because the figure 4 is now being done to him.
Yeah.
So then them two leave the ring. The Connors works it back. And from that point, we then have... Who did we then have come in? Oh, we had Tiger Shah and Tyler Davis getting in a fight, with Davis then falling. But I think on this occasion, I think they were slightly early in doing it. Because I think they were going to repeat the feat again, but they'd kind of already turned. So, slight mess up, but didn't detract from the fact.
Cooper did not enjoy that.
I can tell. He's
his opinion known.
He's a big Connors fan, I can tell.
He's a bit of a perfectionist too, sadly. It's really difficult to watch some stuff with him.
So anyway, we had Shah having Davis, kicks him in the back with a very stiff kick. Osborne reverses it, as I say. Davis takes a fall. Then we have Hashype get involved and uses Connors as a springboard. So Connors is now getting the figure 4 done to him. He uses him as a launching pad to jump off the back to go into, I think it was JC in the corner. Then he hits a senton splash on Connors. So figure 4 gets broken. We then have JC gets on the rope. He jumps at Hashype. Has catches him. Fall away slam. And then from that point, the match settles down into a traditional tag team match.
Jesus, like
Which
that
is
was,
that was like the first couple of minutes, and it was like chaotic.
I'd love to have seen the figure four springboard.
Yeah,
like that would have been a very cool, like that's a cool creative thing to do.
Because it's just the thing of having a figure four going on and one person saying, while that's happening, I'm just going to use you to just jump at him, effectively. Where have we gone? So Riley, for his team, gets isolated. So it's the Queen's Catch and the Exile Pack taking over. The heels pretty much do heelish things. Who would have thought it? And just as Riley seems to be getting his bearings, all the heels come round the side, pull down the good guys, beat them up, to which I practically had an unofficial lap dance, you could say, of Hashype, who kind of twerks near my face for a good 7 seconds, because he's trying not to fall off the stage and fight Tyler Davis. So the footage I have is literally of his ass in front of me, bouncing up and down, and then Davis sort of like just slightly off cam punching him. So you've got the image of me effectively going with my hand there thinking, this does not look good.
No, not at all.
So I'm trying to make. So I'm thinking, right, I'm not going to touch the talent.
No.
But I want to brace in case they fall into me.
I'm getting I'm going to swing my arms in if you happen to be in my way.
Yeah, kind of. So I'm thinking, right, my hand is there. If you should fall into it, that is your fault. I have not touched or done anything wrong. No.
You have a right to protect yourself in confined spaces with wrestlers' bums.
But then again, you could arguably make a case of you're on front row, you signed up for this, it's your own damn fault.
Here's the front row element to it, yes.
But anyway, things all calm down, thankfully. Osborne then gets tagged in, sees him striking the opponent, says kind of like a mini hot tag. Let's call it a mildly warm tag, because it wasn't the main. That's until the Exile Pack of Douglas and Connors hit a front Russian leg sweep on him with a drop kick in the back combo. Connors and Douglas then decide, sod it, let's leave. Leaving their two tag partners all alone.
Screw.
So we then have Hashype hitting the flying head scissors, Tiger Shah hitting a double team move with Shah hitting a double team move with Hashype, as they look to be on course for victory, having 4 against 2.
Yes.
However, there was another entrance on the stage.
Oh.
So you had Douglas then come through, kicking Has in the head, and they went on to hit I'm trying to think what it was. I think it was a shoulder break super kick. Oh, yeah. So Connors picks him up for like a kind of shoulder breaker.
Right.
But at the same time, Douglas does a super kick. So it's a bit like you've seen like the Young Guns do, where they lift him up, super kick, then the move happens.
Love it.
Effectively.
I do like those moves. It's the very like solid tag team moves, and they always this is how you use 2 people in one situation.
It's rare to see tag team moves actually win matches, which is the whole point of tag team wrestling. Is a double team move wins. Yeah. That combo, however, gets the 1, 2, 3 for the side. Yeah. In 9 minutes and 44. The Queen's Catch, which are kind of shithouser in a way of saying, we won. I'm thinking, You were on the winning team, but you didn't really win. It's effectively like a friend winning the raffle and saying, "We won because I'm sat next to him."
Oh yeah.
Kind of like. Then we came to one of my favourite bits on the show. It was another promo where we had the Iron Queen herself, Alexis Falcon, come out with Joe Blazer, who now seems to be slightly linked, I suppose, with the Queen's catch.
Cool.
So she.
Don't start. I swear to God, I am not in the mood for it today. I'll put 50p in all of you to address a very, very personal problem I have with someone on this roster. Sky or TJ? I'm cheering for him. He's changed his name to TJ Rex now. Dinosaurs aren't even real, you know. TJ retired my good friend and confidant Samuel Hughes. I've been up all night reading about the pyramids. I am in no fit state to wrestle. It is a privilege to wrestle me, TJ, but don't worry, Joe. I've got the second prettiest female on the bridge roster coming out for you. Don't you worry, my darling.
Gets into the ring, tells everyone not to annoy her as she's been having a bad day. Says she's been having some personal problems. One of those being a certain member on the roster in TJ Rex, formerly known as TJ Sky. She then clarifies that, oh yeah, by the way, he's now changed his name to TJ Rex now. Shouting at little kids, dinosaurs aren't even real, you know.
Unprovoked as well.
It was so fun.
Just dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs aren't even real, you know. Is so
it is.
When she does it, it's so funny. But she goes on about how TJ had retired her close personal confidant in Samuel Hughes after their epic no DQ match at Brand New Level 2 in March. Basically badmouths TJ Rex. TJ comes to the ring even with Lila Kyle, who at Hit a Rumble suffered a pile driver and saw her injured, ruled out for a show or two.
Yeah.
So TJ and Alexis kind of bicker. Falcon comes out with, I'm having a bad day. I've been reading up on pyramids all evening. So if anyone had seen her Twitter or X, whatever, you would have known that Falcon had been watching a lot of documentaries to do with pyramids and how they were built, and it was really causing her like substantial grief at getting to know the backstory of pyramids.
Yeah.
It's just Falcon at this point.
Well, right. It was not. It wasn't Ace.
Yeah. So she talks about the pyramids, and then she then goes into like wrestling mode and says to Rex, I know you want to fight me, but fighting me is a privilege, and you haven't earned that privilege yet. However, if you two do want to fight, I have picked someone that is I can't remember if she says the second or she says the next prettiest girl on the roster.
Right.
Obviously besides her, because she's not wrestling, and says, Joe, I have got the perfect partner for you to take him on. So everyone's trying to figure out who on earth it's going to be. We then hear the strains of a mobile phone going off, which can only mean one thing. and that is the 21st century liability, Natalie Sykes. So Sykes comes out. I was quite happy because I love watching Sykes anyway.
Yeah.
And and if you're not having Falcon, get the next best thing that you can have. Sykes is always worth money anyway in any show she's on, so I was happy. So we had TJ Rex and Lila Kyle going up against Joe Blazer and Natalie Sykes with Alexis Falcon in their corner. So, notes. Let's see if these are messed up, like most of them. Blazer tries to prove that he's the better wrestler by doing his traditional amateur wrestling style of where you get him down on the ground, you spin round to kind of like embarrass him, saying, I'm better than you, I'm this and that. Joe then gets chopped more than a lumberyard, is the best way to describe it.
Not as much so well as well.
Not as much as Jack Johnson with Doris the other week. That was, I could still feel the chops, and I can still feel the pain on Johnson's chest the following day, where he still had the perfect red hand mark on his chest.
I have since watched the match that you sent to us and stuff like that. I have since watched it, and it was fucking wild, constant, and you basically got the whole thing kind of, and it was like Jesus. He actually posted something on X about his booking, and it's like just off that alone, I would have like retweeted that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Joe's chest turned red like a robin. Lila then got tagged in, hit a couple of arm drags on Joe, went to the well one too often. To which Joe went, no, you're not going to get an arm drag on me this time. Dodged Joe's moves. We then had a chant breakout, which they should have been put higher up. But everyone started chanting towards Lila Kyle of, she's got dimples. Although I think Sykes came out and said, I'm better looking, I've got a nicer smile. And then I think Sykes says something about, you've got dimples, so you can't be like nice. And the entire crowd broke into a chant of, she's got dimples, and started cheering for Kyle.
There you go.
What? To which Kyle turns around and said, I've never had a dimples chant in my favour before. So I think she was quite happy with that.
Oh yeah, why not, man? What's wrong with dimples, man?
The two ladies in the ring then had a really good exchange, in fairness. Then we had TJ Rex getting in the match. Oh, sorry, he didn't get in the match. Falcon came round, pulled Rex off the ring apron, and gave him a few kicks, ran back round. Rex wanted to kick Falcon, but couldn't because the ref saw it. Sykes began to just take it to Kyle. Then we saw a couple of times where the heels would kind of distract the referee, say TJ is trying to get in the ring, or, you know, the normal tag team stuff of beat up your opponent in one corner. So you have Falcon and Sykes pummeling poor old Kyle. TJ fuming on the ring apron, doing an Undertaker running up and down the apron. Sykes then just rains, like punches down on Kyle. Rex does not like this, gets in the ring, shoves her off, just going, come on, stop, enough with it. Eventually, Rex gets in the ring, begins to clean house. Falcon jumps up on the ring, pulls Falcon into the ring. And as he does, and he's going to do something, Blazer runs right behind, rolls him up for the 1-2-3. The most devastating move in all of professional wrestling, as Simon Miller would say.
course.
and gives Blazer and Sykes the win in 13 minutes and 42 seconds.
Aye.
Really fun match. One of my favourite matches on the show. Pretty much, if it's got Falcon, it's always going to be funny.
So entertaining.
But at the same time, is not overly funny, but you still get serious wrestling, which is very good. Because, I mean, she's supposed to be this big heel, but at the same time, you don't want too much of a goofy heel. So, kind of balances it perfectly, especially with how the personality of Falcon as well. Funny 1 minute, but like the Joker, I suppose, is a good description.
That's the best bit is when you can, like you say, you can turn it on when you need to, and those moments are always the best when it's like someone who is primarily seen as like sort of mostly a goofball, and it makes their turn all the more kind of impactful. It's like Silent Bob speaking, you know?
Yeah. We then come to your favorite word, the penultimate match of the night. As we have Joe Wade taking on George Lydon. So we have Lydon put his hand out for sportsmanship, and kind of Wade just goes, no, I'm not really interested, kind of brushes it away with his foot. Lydon and Wade kind of tie up, do a quick little move, puts his hand out again. No, kicks his hand out the way, chops him in the corner. Lydon reverses it and chops him in 3 out of the 4 corners. Unfortunately, we didn't get him to chop him in every corner, which would have been fun, but we can't always have nice things.
No, you know, they've got a game plan.
Oh yeah. The 4th corner, when he went to do it, saw a running boot and flying forearm. So George sat up on the ground and have Wade bounce into the ropes and clothesline him while he's kind of sat up on the mat. What else have we got? Wade gave his opponent a stiff kick in the ropes. Did he? Yes. Oh, yes, of course he did. Yeah, had him in the rope. It's all right. I'm reading my own notes. I'm thinking, did that really happen? I'm thinking, yes, because I wrote it. Has him in the rope and kind of has him under the top rope. So he's leaning back, just hits him. Continues to just like mockingly like nudge him with his foot, just saying, you're not good enough. Just taunting him effectively.
Yeah.
Lydon fights back with an enziguri with back elbows, followed with a springboard elbow and a fisherman suplex for a near fall. Lydon then tries to hook the arms of his opponent, but gets reversed, and Wade's punt misses and turns into a schoolboy for 2. Back comes Wade with a German suplex and a running knee.
Nice.
Lydon then goes for a German, but gets blocked. Both trade boots to the face. George bounces off the ropes, landing a lariat that turns Wade inside out and almost lands on his neck. Such are these dangerous moves. Again, when you watch the replay, safe as houses. But when you're watching it, didn't look like that thing. However, Lydon wins the match with a Tiger Driver 96 in 6 minutes 52. Good little contest to kind of like pad out the show. Wade is an interesting cat.
Very
Lydon, whenever I see him, I always think he couldn't lift anything because he's. I'm trying to think of the night. It's like he's quite thin, and you look at him and you think, how do you do these power moves?
Is he like a Benjamin Harlan type thing?
Yeah, it's a bit like Harlan. Do we think? How can you generate this much power in that tiny frame?
Yeah.
But but somehow he does it.
That's it. You can't count any. It's just because the way they look, the way the body form, man.
Yeah.
Like there's strength there that you'll never realize, man.
It's one of the joys of watching wrestling, of being astounded when you see big men do high flying moves.
Those moonsaults.
Equally, watching wrestlers that have kind of like smaller frames lifting big guys for fun.
Yeah.
It is that time where you do kind of lose yourself in disbelief, thinking, how's he done this? I know it's wrestling, but you still think, how's he done this? That's a hell of an effort. And then we came to the main event of the evening. I have put it in so far my top 10 bracket of match of the years.
Fantastic.
Or match of the year, sorry. If it stays there, we don't know, but it's in there for now.
It's on the board, Peter. It's on the board.
It is. So, we have the Speed Demon Edgar Adams taking on the future Zach Walker, who I said last time was 15, 16. He's 21, but he effectively looks like he's come straight from kind of like infant school.
That's 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. He looks so... If you see him, you think... There is a part when you see him and just go, did you come with your parents? It's so babyface.
Do we need
more
to be
babyface than you can even imagine.
Yeah.
But he wrestled beyond his years. Definitely. Arguably, this match came about from Brand New Level, where both of these young ones got chance of like Walker and Adams.
Yes.
They are two favourites in the Bridge Pro scene. I think it's no particular thing to say that they are mainstays in the Midland scene overall as well. I always enjoy watching these two when I come to Bridge Pro shows. So it seemed impossible for him to have a bad match, and they didn't. They served up a classic.
Always fun.
So both kind of did the same thing to start off the show. Start off the match even, where one would get tripped up and they'd flip back up. They'd try and trip him up again. Then you'd have Walker try and do it to Adams. Adams do it to Walker. Then we have a bit of a standoff, to which golf clap. The pair traded, because I had to check this once or twice, 8 near falls in a row. So it's like 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. I'm thinking the referee's getting knackered here after like 6. So to get near I'm sure one of the falls just went, well, you're not going to get for free, so I'm just going to go 1. So, the crowd was split 50-50, where it seemed like the younger fans were behind behind Walker, and kind of the older fans, shall we say, were more behind Adams.
Well,
so it's that kind of when Cena was like a good guy, which remember them days, and it used to be a case of let's go Cena. You always have like the high pitched, and then the balls dropped on the other side.
That's what he always said. They would always say it was the women and the children would be like, let's go Cena, and all the blokes would be like, Cena sucks.
So it's effectively the balls haven't dropped. We're cheering for Walker, and the balls that had dropped were cheering for Adams.
Brilliant.
to put it that way.
It's a general standoff.
But in truth, it was probably mixed. I mean, I think there was a few of us chanting both these guys, to be fair. I know I was one of them.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, despite both of them being high flyers, it was more of a technical match to begin with. Then it degenerated into more kind of high risk with a springboard head scissors by Zach. Edgar charged into the corner, got flipped into the ropes. Flipped himself over the top rope as he saw him coming.
Yeah.
And as he did, he kind of pushed Zach out the way and got an assisted springboard sling blade off the rope.
Yeah.
So kind of put his head in, used the ropes as the assistance to hit the sling blade for a 2. Adams chopped Walker 3 times before Walker fired back with a flurry of chops at Edgar, all of them hitting. Adams continued to use kind of like technical moves to ground Walker, who's more of a high flyer.
Yeah.
Walker hit another springboard head scissors on Edgar, but Edgar did a cartwheel out of it to avoid, and then hit a running knee. Walker reserved a... blame autocorrect for that. Walker reversed, not reserved. But he could have reserved it, who knows?
I reserved the right to reverse.
You know what? Sod it. Let's go reserved. Walker reserved a move into a huge DDT. Doesn't make sense, but sod you. Hits a backstabber on Adams. Zach then went up to the top, saw him eat nothing but mat with a moonsault, which was quite a nice looking moonsault. Which was it was like an angle perfect, picture perfect moonsault, but gets nothing. We then had both giving their all, having a kind of double clothesline to take each other out. Edgar's hit 2 crashing forearms. Walker then fires back and took a huge power bomb when jumping up at Edgar. Adams then dived to the outside, where luckily Zach caught him, because if he didn't, there was a woman with a child and a drink, and that drink would have gone flying.
I'm glad it did not. Well,
it did make me laugh most of the evening because you're on front row.
Yep. Yeah,
you know this stuff's going to happen, especially if you're in the middle of the ring.
Fortunate.
But yeah, so Adams dives out. Zach catches him, turns it into a DDT on the outside. Adams catches Zach looking to try and set up a move in the corner, brings him to the middle of the ring and hits a 1-winged angel that drew a 2 count. We then had a flying knee and modified crossroads for Edgar. Edgar then went high risk and saw Zach then catching him with a knee. So as he came off, Zach got his knees up, caught him, rolled him up for a 2 count. Zach fell into the trap of pulling his knee pad down to try and see if he could win.
We got 3 for 3.
3 for 3 did not work. As my notes tell me, not for free. Please stop doing the move. I was in a really surly mood when I wrote these notes. Walker then hits.
To make the running knee a thing, it's not going to be a thing.
Yeah, it ain't gonna work. Walker then pulled out the Sega Mega Driver for a 2, which caught everyone off guard of ever seeing that move again. We then saw the conclusion come to the end as a moonsault off the top rope was caught by Adams. He then caught him, lifted him up, put him in a tombstone for the win. 15 minutes, 51 seconds of one of the best matches you will see this year. Both of them kind of like hard looking and everything. Both were like baby faces in this. After the match, it saw Bridge Pro owner Ryan Parrott come out, congratulating both men on a hell of a match, which it was. Due chance. Everyone was cheering both. He then went on to say, I forgot to mention, though, the winner of this match would go into the Wonderland Contenders match to be going... Oh, the Wonderland Contenders match next... Not the next show, the show after which I will come to in a minute, would see the winner of the match that just happened entering that particular match. So now we have Edgar Adams and Joe Blazer in that contest.
Okay.
So this is where I've struggled to understand what's happening. So I'd said previously that Brandon was in the match because he was the #1 contender for the Rumble.
Yes.
What seems the situation, I will probably be wrong, but this is how I've worked it so far because I feel it's changed. So because Jordan won the Rumble, he is the #1 contender for the title, which has not been crowned.
Okay.
So Jordan is your #1 undisputed contender.
Cool.
The Wonderland match in July
Yes.
it's a bit like a Rumble, where you start off with 2 men, and then after a certain amount of time, someone else enters in.
Mm.
I think it's 5 or 6 competitors in the match.
Yeah.
However, it's a bit like War Games, where you cannot pin or gain a submission win until everyone is in the match.
Nice. Yes.
So then once everyone is in the match, then the match really starts.
And is it just one fall or is it elimination?
So it's literally it's a normal wrestling match.
Right.
So once the final participant is in the match, we then get first submission, first to get the pinfall.
Yeah.
The winner of that will then go on to face Brandon Jordan in, I believe it's September. It should be September because I've just booked tickets for the show. And on that night, we are going to crown the first ever Bridge Pro champion.
Nice.
Also, that they've just announced is they are going to crown the first ever tag team champions on that show as well. So we will have 2 champions come the end of the night.
That's really fucking cool.
So,
I think that's the show that we're going to try and get down to and stuff.
So I am happy I will see the first ever champion. Because I kind of bitched to Ryan saying, can you possibly put on like a post show while I'm not at the July show because I am house sitting. But yeah, that is Bridge Pro. Hell of a show. If we're going to go down the line of ratings, because I know promotions love me giving ratings because I'm like a god-awful Meltzer. But seeing as I've been told by a certain person, I can't name names, but them.
Shit. You started some shit. No, you didn't, Ben. Don't worry. It's all good.
So I've been asked if I could do it in pencils.
Yes.
So you know what? I'm going to hold off giving my prediction on what I thought it rated because I will do it on the next show. Because I have decided I am going to change how I do them. So, whereas I have given stars out before, to make it fairer, I am going to rejig the pencil system, as we are now calling it.
Okay.
So, if Catch and Atomic are watching, I'm going to change your what I said. But don't worry, they will still be good. Because
we here at Pencilden do not share the values of Producer Peta on all things. However, if you like those things, then we share those values. That is the official line. Yes, thank you. And back to business.
I'm Nicky, and I agree with Peta.
Say,
You son of a
Nikki
bitch.
agrees with me.
I will get her to. There will be a showdown between her and the shark. It's gonna happen.
I hope she comes back. You know why I want
You
Nikki to
shout
come
your
back?
shit. What?
You know why I want Nikki to come back?
I mean, yes. Why?
I thought you were going to go into a
I was like-
spiel then, didn't?
I was thinking, I was just like, you know why I wanted to come back? It's like because it's penciled in.
It's not because I like Nikki. It's not because it's her show. It's more the fact that my voice is. I mean, I'm probably killing kayfabe here, but my voice is. The reason my voice is probably croaky is doing the damn that impression.
The voice you chose. You are in command. This is not an automaton. You are in fact in entire control of the shark.
This is why I have a sore throat half the time. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the Barry White impression, and that wasn't any impression. That was how I actually spoke. But trying to do, I mean, it's not Nikki's voice. I mean, it could be after a few cigarettes, but I mean, I've got. This is what I've got to work with.
Hello, Peter.
This is what I got to work with.
You like
Also,
Why does it sound like the Cookie Monster?
I was gonna say you like Cookie Monster Danhausen, Cookiehausen.
I can do a good impression of the Cookie Monster.
Go on, lay it on us.
Cookie!
There we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Man of many talents, all of them crap. But
Dead Ringers is coming back. They need you on the cast.
it's all right. This might be my last show.
One thought I actually just had: the fan could be like, because it's blowing air up, it could be drying your throat out a little bit.
I'll be honest. I'm getting no ventilation from this neck fan.
Is it? If anything, it's making you warmer because it's a plastic scarf.
Possibly. I don't know. But it ain't bringing me. I was gonna say joy, but that's not the right term.
Doesn't have the power.
No.
You got the.
All it's doing is making a noise. There you go.
Well,
That's good.
thank you very much for your bridge. For every time you go, every show you go to, and you were very, very kind. Are you okay? Do you need? Should I call a priest?
It's all. It's all right.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
It's a mixture of doing the impression and also having tea go down the wrong way. Which isn't a good combo.
Hot tea as well. Hot tea.
I wish it was. It's
Yeah,
not even.
fair. It's just a cold brew. To be fair, I like it.
It might as well be. It went cold about 20 minutes ago. This is what I do for you lot. You people.
Don't call them people. Don't humanize them.
Ham and eggers, as Bobby the Brain Heenan used to call them.
No, thank you all so much for watching. You're all people and wonderful people. We love you all.
You say that.
All, you and Jack Benno, you got your thing going on. You go and heel on us.
Go on here.
God damn it. Full curtain, pull people. He's a heel. He's gone Cena. He sold his soul. You sold out.
To be fair, I'm wearing a baseball cap and a baseball jersey. I'm technically almost there as Cena.
You are.
And I'm losing my hair like Cena, so I'm almost there.
You've definitely got like Cena qualities. And you've got a C on your cap as well that you could just all it would take is a quick little whoop and you're all the way there.
I can imagine someone watching this now just thinking, Producer Petter looks like Cena from Wish. Or Temu going down that way.
Cena.
Or what if there's a Wish Temu?
Yeah, that would be. Everything is just made. Everything's been 3D printed, but instead of like the material, it's just sawdust.
3D print. It's just someone poking like that.
Actually, just it's hand making. Oh god. Right. Well, I would like I say, thank you so much for that. I can't wait for us to actually be able to get to a show, get to a Bridge Pro, and if we can make that September one, that seems like as good a time as any. Probably the best time for us to go. My voice is going croaky, but I'm leaning into it. Yeah. We're gonna get to Bridge Pro, and it's gonna be dead good, and I can't wait. And this, I've got no shark headed lens. 1 second. Oh, okay. Here we go.
Oh God.
I've got my glasses on still, so this is not going as smoothly as I expected it to. Okay, let's just see how it looks like here. Okay.
Well, a pencil.
There we go. We'll try to get to Bridge Pro. This isn't. This. It's like Wrestling Anonymous.
It's
Catch-
something.
Catch him next time. If you know, you know.
Is Laparkis suddenly from Yorkshire?
Sorry?
Is Laparkis suddenly become from Yorkshire or Lancashire?
Yes, yeah.
Come to the meat raffle.
Come to buy me merch.
Buy me merch.
That table.
Laparka.
I haven't pulled out. I've got like a series of lucha masks that I need to actually like display, and I will have them at some point when we have a full setup and a proper setup. They will be behind. But
that's what we need. There needs to be an episode where we just get someone to wear a mask.
Oh, I've been thinking about it every time, but every time I go to do it, my skin's been bad, so I don't want to sit under the fucking mask for an hour. And yeah.
Technically, we have already. I done that horse mask.
You did I was just going to say you did the horse mask. So.
Yeah, I didn't end with that.
And your hand's been wearing a mask.
What do you mean?
Well, there was someone there before. They had a very specific voice, which wasn't in any way painful for anyone to do. So it's so hard done to you. You're choosing this. You made your bed, now fucking lie in it.
Who you talking to?
Who the fuck is that? Who you talking to? You sound like it's Nicky Roosh. God
Who's
bless.
this guy?
I can't wait for the showdown. I apologize. I don't mean to offend. I don't mean to. I'm having a conversation with a fucking shark, man.
How do you think I feel?
I don't know. Flinch on me, man. Fuck you.
Hold me back. No.
There we go. Whoa,
Whoa,
down, boy, down.
It's like a typical end to a wrestling show where you have a pull apart.
Can have a shark cage match, like you said.
Yeah.
I'll get in the cage. We'll have a Yoshihiko moment. You can be the in all black behind the shark face.
We just need a Limp Bizkit instrumental over it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just crying in the cage. So, no, I once again, you very kindly carried this episode with your wonderful on the ground review. Only a few
It's
things.
just gone on this episode, haven't we? We've just gone off the rails now, haven't we?
It really has. It tends to do so. It tends to do that.
We started off Nicky a calming influence on this group.
We did have like a nice flow going, and then Petter's super hot, ridiculously warm tea on a hot summer came in. And I hope it was a splendid situation. And I it all went. I think we did good. I think we spoke. You thingy. You told us about the show. It was good.
Yeah.
One
for part one. Part one.
Part one. One thing I would like to say is I think, are you doing on the next episode? Are you going to be doing Burnley?
Burnley?
Burnley Pro. You didn't go to Burnley Pro?
No.
No, cool. Okay, well, something did happen at Burnley Pro. Much beloved in the pencil case, NJ has won a title there. I've been informed by the lovely penciled in Nikki, who made sure she was like, make sure you say this, make sure you make sure this happens.
What you got to say? She got an interview with him.
Sorry.
I thought you were going to say she got an interview with him.
She interviewed with NJ. We need to get an exclusive on the title situation. I don't know the name of the title, but I'm absolutely genuinely made up for him. It's so cool to see when wrestlers that you've literally seen from the get-go and how quickly they progress. And as we always say, we love progression here. We love to see development. We love to see when people unlock those new skills that will allow them to just be the absolute superstars across the world that we know they can be. From people that are now doing that currently, people that have already like made it literally to the top, and like Mariah May, we didn't realize, because we were our first ever indie show was so pro, and Mariah May was fighting Holly Hudson in the thingy pink hardcore pink death match, and then many months later she was just rocking around. Well, she was in Stardom and AEW, and it's just Leon Slater in TNA doing amazing things. Hope you're okay, Leon. That was quite the bump, but hope you're okay. And over to NJ, who has just won a title over in Burnley Pro, and like the Tony Wrights, the Prince Peles, the who else? Who
Jack Jones,
the Evos, the Hollies, the everyone. Everyone is
Leo
so
Ravens, Leon Gray is the
yes. There was more. The Salford Jack. It's
Tony
everyone
Wright.
is just doing their thing constantly up in
Everyone.
their games. Sorry?
Everyone.
Like I say, I've not necessarily brought much to the table today other than positivity towards the wrestlers and to just generally everyone who promotes wrestlers in a positive way.
We don't like.
Who?
Apart from Jack.
Listen, man. Like at some point, I'm gonna have to pick sides, and I'm not gonna lie, Jack. I'm picking his side. But I'm only doing that so secretly I can get close to his knee, so I can fulfill my ultimate goal and thus ascend to a different plane of existence. So, just wanted to say that. Obviously, send some love to Pencil and Nikki. Her recovery is going well. She's doing super good. That's her new theme song, and she's I can't wait to get back to it and stuff like that. So send some love there. Like, share, subscribe, turn the notifications on. Leave a little comment if you will, just to kind of get things going a little bit. We love to know what people like and what people don't like. And Petter, you can now talk because I deem it so.
Shout out to Alfie, photographer.
Shout out to Alfie.
Watches the show. Also, thank you to Tony Wright, who told us he watches the show.
Yeah. All the nice comments that people have been saying, and I know Petter's been people have been saying, it's a good time and stuff. So thank you so much. We will keep it going as much as we can because we are penciled in for a reason. And yes, soon there will be talk of the big shows coming up and stuff like that, but obviously the indie side, because we've got a very busy fucking summer. There will be some chatting about the old collective, as I mentioned. Me and Nick are really eager to talk some of that stuff because, oh man, what an absolute brilliant week of some absolute highs and some guttural lows, but we won't be talking too much about the guttural lows in any other way than humorous. And yeah, just enjoy wrestling. Just stay positive on all the things. People have opinions, and they are opinions, not identities. We we just, yeah. That's literally all I've got to offer to this show. It's just a positive message at the beginning and end.
And I will end it on the next episode. I will give a review on Salford City Wrestling and Catch Pro that happened on Monday night.
Fucking awesome. Which, by the way, thank you for all the clips on those. There's been some. I'm excited to talk about both of those shows, Catch in particular.
Right. So I will end things, seeing as you started them, because that's how we roll. As I say, like, subscribe, tell your friends,
And notifications on.
That as well. Pardon. If this comes out before weekend, go watch your local indie show, support the indies. That's pretty much it, really. And we'll see you for part 2, whenever that is.